Congressman Paul, yet another question about electability. Do you have any, sir? There's always the question as to whether or not you are in fact viable. Your differences with the Republicans with the rest of the Republicans on this stage has raised questions about whether or not you can actually win the Republican nomination, sir.
There's a strong tradition of being anti-war in the Republican Party. It is the constitutional position. It is the advice of the founders to follow a non-interventionist foreign policy. Stay out of entangling alliances. Be friends with countries. Negotiate and talk with them and trade with them. So there's a lot of merit to the advice of the founders and following the Constitution. And my argument is that we shouldn't go to war so carelessly. When we do, the wars don't end.
Congressman, you don't think that changed with the 9/11 attack, sir?
No, non-intervention was a major contributing factor. Have you ever read about the reasons they attacked us? They attack us because we've been over there. We've been bombing Iraq for 10 years. We've been in the Middle East. I think Reagan was right. We don't understand the irrationality of Middle Eastern politics. What would we say here if China was doing this in our country or in the Gulf of Mexico? We would be objecting. We need to look at what we do from the perspective of what would happen if somebody else did it to us.
Are you suggesting we invited the 9/11 attack, sir?
I'm suggesting that we listen to the people who attacked us and the reason they did it. And they are delighted that we're over there because Osama bin Laden has said, I am glad you're over on our sand because we can target you so much easier.
As an extraordinary statement of someone who lived through the attack of September 11, that we invited the attack because we were attacking Iraq. I don't think I've ever heard that before, and I've heard some pretty absurd explanations for September 11. I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that.
The so-called 9/11 truth movement has already infected people like Rosie O'Donnell and 1 in 3 Democrats and many other Americans, evidently including Congressman Ron Paul.
It is, and it doesn't belong there. And I'm glad that this moment provided great TV for Fox News. But Ron Paul really has no business being on stage as a legitimate representative of Republicans because the 9/11 truth virus is something that infects only a very small proportion of people that would identify themselves as conservative or Republican. And I think a lot of it is just plain ignorance. And then there's a paranoid strain on the left, tinfoil hat wearers who indulge in this kind of fantasy where America bears the blame for global jihad. I think it's incumbent on mainstream news outlets to debunk these people, and I don't think you see nearly enough of that outside of Fox News.
Part of this,
and I note that Ron Paul has basically allied himself with these people. He appears with Students for Truth on campus, and he's appeared on radio shows like 9/11 Conspiracy Nut Alex Jones. And I would hope that would disqualify him the next time around from appearing on stage with other Republicans.
We shall see. The 9/11 contest got a little spicy at last night's GOP debate in South Carolina after Paul suggested that the U.S. actually had a hand in the terrorist attack.
MSNBC had the debate a couple of weeks ago. Former Governor Mitt Romney came in first, and there he is in first place again, followed by Congressman from Texas Ron Paul with 25%. And then you got Rudy at about 20%. How is Ron Paul's number so high? Clearly, some online communities are messing with the outcome. Remember, 40,000 votes were cast. In the online community, to get 10,000 people to vote a certain way, not that tough.
He was caught on tape talking to a leader of the conspiracy group Student Scholars for 9/11 Truth. This is trouble for the Republican Party, I think, having this guy on stage purporting to represent our party.
Right. Paul coming in with the win on the text message election, at least in the early returns. It seems that by getting slapped by Rudy Giuliani for his assertion that the U.S. effectively asked for the 9/11 attacks for bombing Iraq when it was under sanctions, he's going to get a lot of ink. So Ron Paul quite by the actions of Rudy Giuliani's attack, maybe doing quite well. And as for the text messaging, maybe he's a little bit better organized and having his organizers do the necessary dialing for all of that.
Hey, listen, in my view, Congressman Ron Paul did not win that debate by any stretch.
I'm not surprised to hear Sean Hannity say that.
By the way, I disagree with Ron Paul winning that, but I haven't sent in my text vote yet because I've been busy at work and I haven't.
It's a big difference.
Look, text polls are text polls. It's like internet polls.
It's not even phone calls.
He did not win that debate.
He did not win it.
But more importantly, I think what he said is outrageous, and I challenged him on it here because the suggestion here is that
it's our fault.
That our fault.
That's crazy. I think Ron Paul basically, for me, it's done.
Hey, what's happening, baby? I'm the one who needs no introduction. Cause I'm the world-class doctor, the master of seduction. I can heal all your ills and give you extreme delight, but only if you